Since he wanted to keep it short and sweet, we get to throw him under the bus again. I can tell you one thing. The first day we showed up at Lynn's house, and we're waiting on him, me and Phil. I'm pretty sure like you're high and you come walking in and you see me and Phil sitting at your kitchen table, all leathered out, looking real mean. A guy, big fat guy with a mohawk, and Phil, he's pretty intimidating looking. And he came in with eyes wide open. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about your drug problem. And to be honest with you, when me and Phil left, we thought this was probably really a long shot, but we're going to try. We're going to do what we can to work with this guy. His mom was really hurting and pleading for help for her son, and I can relate to that. And he kept suiting up. He kept showing up. Kept going to meetings. A little bit along the journey, he's balked a little bit. Probably not half as bad as I did in the beginning. When I first came here, he did a lot better job than I am. It took me 7 years to get clean. But, I'm really proud of him, and I'm really proud to call him my brother today. I've seen so much growth in the last 10 months out of him, from the guy that we sat down at the table with, to the guy that stands before you right now. Skahty, can you tell us a little bit? Not 5 minutes either.
All right. Well, I'm 23 years old. I got 3 kids. I'm married. I'd like to say how this all started was coming home from school and drinking in the garage with my father, but that's not how it started. It's what I thought at first, but it really wasn't. I used to blame it on my father because he was a drunk and an alcoholic and drug abuser, but that's not what it was. All growing up, all I wanted to do was be older, because I had 2 older brothers and they got to do things I didn't get to go do. So instead of listening, I didn't listen. Mom would tell me to stay home, and I'd say no way, and I'd sneak out and go anyways. And that's kind of how it was with everything. I'd be told no, and I'd do it. And then, same thing with my brother started drinking at a younger age, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to drink. So I did that, and I hung out with their crowds. I started smoking weed, skipping school, getting in trouble in school. You name it, I did it. I started stealing when I was like 13. I'd army crawl into my mom and dad's room and steal a couple Jack cigarettes out of his pack. And that's literally how it started. And I thought that was so easy. I can do this with money and get me some drugs. So that's what I started doing. And everybody always wondered how the heck was I high, because I didn't have a job and I didn't have money. But that's what I did. I just stole. And it became so easy for me. I started burning so many friends away because I'd go into their homes, steal off of their parents, steal off of them, steal off of their friends. And then before you know it, I didn't have any friends, and I'm jumping from click to click to click to click. And it was just like that. I mean, it was fast, and I lived a fast life. The heroin and pills, that all started when I was like 19 years old. I moved out on my own in an apartment, and I got a job at a moving company, and I met this guy Rob and this guy Jeff, and they were all snorting pills, because that's what would get you motivated to, when you show up at somebody's house, you can pick up a whole bunch of stuff and get in the truck real fast. And that's what we did. So I started snorting pills. Come to find out, at first I didn't have to pay for them. Everybody just kind of passed around in the truck and you get a bump, and that was cool. But once you get hooked, you're hooked. I didn't know they were so expensive, and then I started burning away all my money, and next thing you know, I don't have anything. I always did pay my rent and all that, but I got a lot of tips, and that's what I used to get high on. When our lease was up, we didn't have any money because I used all my money on drugs, so I didn't have anything saved up, and I could have, so we had to move back in with my mom. My wife ended up getting pregnant with our youngest son, So she was also using with me pills. And she had quit. I told her she had quit, and she didn't think that was fair because I got to do it, and I said I'd quit with her. So her whole pregnancy, she thought that I had quit drugs, and I really hadn't. I know she had suspicion because I was making really good money, and I was out of town a lot. And I'd be making over $1,000 a week, and I'd come home and there would only be a couple $100 left. And we had no bills. I was living with my mom. I had no bills, no car payment. I had car insurance. It was like $60 or something. When you make $1,000 a week, you have no excuses on where your money's going. So I know there was some suspicion going on, but I played it off. I'm an addict, so I made up every excuse in the book. All it took was this one person I hung out with. They went from pills, and they said, hey man, there's this stuff, and it's cheaper than pills, and it'll get you high all day. And I was like, oh yeah, let me try that. So that's when heroin jumped into my life. I bought one. It went from one 10 bag to now it's a gram a day. You know, that was just how I did it. I didn't care. Didn't give a crap about anybody. I started stealing again, and that was something I told myself I'd never do again. When I moved out on my own and I started having kids, I said I'm never going to do that. I don't want them to grow up and do that shit. So I thought that was what, lead by example. And it's not what I did. I tried to hide it from everybody, and that didn't really work. I started not coming home, showing up late. When I get off from work, I'd stop at the dope dude's house and show up at home at 11 o'clock. Everybody's sleeping, thought I was sneaky. Eventually, just the road kind of gets cold, man. Enough was enough, I'd have to say. It started coming to where I didn't have any money anymore. I was broke by Sunday, and I was still making really good money. My brother owns his own business, and we were working with him, and I mean, we make a lot of money. And to be broke by Sunday and not have any bills, you have a problem. And I knew I did. I just didn't know how to reach out. I didn't think anybody knew, and I didn't want anybody to know. So I was embarrassed of it. So I hid it. And as soon as I found out that somebody knew, I told my wife once that I tried it with my brother, and she told me I better quit or she's gonna leave me. And I started hiding it even better. I wanted to do it at home. I'd wait until I got to work or wait until I leave and then do it. I don't miss it, to be honest. I don't miss having to wake up to get your fix, because it went from having fun and goofing off to this sucks. I had to wake up and try and find out how to get my fix. It wasn't getting high, it was getting better. And that was enough for me. These guys walked in that door, man, and I couldn't tell you how happy I was to see them without trying to show it, So I was definitely ready when they showed up. I was done. I wasn't wanting to do it anymore. To tell you the truth, my wife actually didn't think I was doing it all the way up until she gave birth in the hospital. She went in that bathroom. I know she did. She was pregnant. She had to pee. So she went in that bathroom, and there was no razor blade marks on that counter in there. And when she walked in there after I came back, not even 5 minutes after she pushed my son out, I said, I gotta go. I'll see you in a minute. And I ran out the door, went to the dope dude's house right down the road, came back, and then came upstairs, then hugged my son. That's messed up. I'm not gonna lie, that's some messed up stuff, and that haunts me today. That she holds that against me. Because it's not right, that's not cool. I was all about that, and I'm all about my kids, and if you know me, I am about my kids. I'll do anything for them. For me not to be able to do that, not to hold my son, and to be able to run out that door because heroin's more important, that's not cool. I was giving up everything, and I was given the opportunity to, one, lay that hand down and pick up a new one, or two, get the fuck out. And I chose to pick up the hand. I'm very grateful today. I got Phil as my sponsor. He keeps me in check. I got Tiny behind me everywhere I step. My family's very, very big on supporting me. Actually, when I was 16, 17, I caught a felony 1 aggravated burglary charge because I tried selling a dirt bike for an ounce of weed. And the guy gave me the dirt bike and I gave him the weed and it wasn't his dirt bike. So I got pissed when the cops came and got the dirt bike. So I kicked in his door and got myself in charge. I ended up in drug court. Judge James was my judge, and me and my mom had to stand in front of him every week, every Tuesday, and report what I did that week. I don't think if it wouldn't have been for rehab and AA being inbreded into my brain at a younger age like that, I probably would have said no when these guys walked in that day. Because I didn't know it, I wouldn't have known anything. I wouldn't have known what it was about. But walking into that when I was younger, I got sent away for Christmas. When I was 16, 17, my family showed up once to come see me because it was so far away. I was like 4 hours away. So I didn't get visiting, and I remember that. I remember watching all the people in there get their friends and family come see them every week, and mine came for, I think it was before Christmas or something like that, or after Christmas, and that was it, because it was so far away. And I went to AA meetings there, and I got to see what this was all about. And to be honest with you, I probably would have stayed sober if I didn't live with a bunch of addicts. To be completely honest, the day I graduated drug court, I was so proud of myself because I put together a year's sobriety. And the day I walked into that door, my brother was sitting down on his couch with a bong and a bolt pack ready for me. And I walked right in and sat right next to him and took that fucking hit. And right there, I was running and gunning until 10 months ago. Now, like I said, I've been through a little bit. I put my family through hell. You can only imagine their facial expressions when I would walk through the door barely standing. I showed up at Art's house, one of my last highs, I showed up at Art's house, and my mom asked me to go pick up a prescription for Lloyd, and I showed up an hour and a half later, and I said I was at Rite Aid. I picked it up. I went and see my dope dude, I passed out on the highway in her vehicle. They gave me fentanyl. I didn't know what was going on. Then I stopped at the gas station to grab a pack of cigarettes, and I passed out in the parking lot with the car still driving, my foot on the parking brake. That right there scared the shit out of me. Not even a day, I think it was the very next day these guys showed up, and that's why I said I had enough, dude. That's cool, because, I didn't explain that to them then, but I knew what happened there, and I knew I wasn't understanding what really happened. I thought my dope dude was my friend, and he would never do that to me, and this and that, and sure shit, it happened. So, when you're ready. I was ready. I was done. I got kids to take care of. I got a wife that's stay at home and take care of my kids. I got to be able to do something, give back to her. She busts her ass every day trying to take care of them kids, and I can only hope to be as good as a father as she is a mother. That's what I do today. I shoot up, I show up, and I try and help other people because I know what it's like for someone to hand their hand out to me. That was the best feeling of my life. When you're not ready, I get it. I've had people try and help me, and I wasn't ready to get it yet. I ignored it. But, the only thing I can really say is if you know an addict, don't stop reaching your hand out, because there's going to be that day where they say, yeah, I'm done. And if you stop, you don't know what's going to happen. That's all I got.